To the clerk to provide a report.
Through you, Mr. Mayor, Council met in closed session pursuant to Municipal Act exemptions and received an update on legal matters and provided direction to staff, as well as approved the closed session minutes from the December 9th meeting.
Thank you. So now I'm going to ask everyone to please stand for the national anthem. Okay, so we'd like to begin the meeting by acknowledging the land on which we gather as the traditional territory of the Anishinaabe and the Haudenosaunee peoples, acknowledging the One Bowl and Spoon Treaty. Are there any disclosures of pecuniary interest? Councilor McClellan?
Yeah. There's one on land disposition. I have to leave.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay. All right, so please note that the meeting proceedings are being broadcast live, recorded, and made available through the Township website and YouTube.com. January is Crime Stoppers Month, and our flag raising ceremony is tomorrow, Wednesday, January 21st at 10 a.m. Our next regular meeting of council is Tuesday, February 10th, 2026 at 6:30 p.m. Are there any announcements or remarks from members of council? Seeing none. So we're going to move into the adoption of previous council minutes. I have a motion that the minutes of the regular meeting of council held December 9th, 2025 be adopted as circulated. Can I have a mover and seconder? Councilor McCullen and Councilor Van Fleet. Any discussion? Seeing none, I'll call a question. All in favor? Opposed? That's carried. Okay, there are no public meetings this evening. We do have two registered delegations this evening. So first, Leslie Rigg, President of Brock University, respecting the update on Brock University's strategic plan. Our first speaker is Leslie Rigg, the President of Brock University, who is here to provide an update on Brock University's strategic plan. Ms. Rigg, you have 10 minutes to please make your presentation.
Thank you, Mayor Grant, and thank you to all the councilors. I'm so pleased to be here with you tonight to give you an update, not just on our strategic plan, but also on some recent activity and where we are heading. Where do I point it? Oh, you know what I'm doing? I'm lasering. There we go. Okay. So I think you probably know this story, but it was more than 60 years ago when a group of residents joined together to advocate to get a university here in the Niagara region. They knew then what remains true now, that a public university intrinsically dedicated to serving the community has immeasurable value. Obviously, a lot has changed since then, and we're very proud of what Brock has become, and we just recently celebrated our 60th anniversary. Just to give you sort of a situational awareness of Brock and its extent in the region, today we have over 2,100 full-time Brock staff who support not just our university, but the entire Niagara economy. And 10 live right here in Wainfleet, including my CFO, Josh Tonis, who's here with us tonight. I don't know if everybody is aware of the amazing impact that Brock has. Recent years have been spectacular at Brock, I would say. We've seen great momentum And I'll just give you a couple examples. The launch of our Spark initiative, I don't know if anybody if you are aware of it. It's a bold sustainability and infrastructure initiative that positions Brock to exceed its carbon reduction goals and lead nationally in energy performance. It's in collaboration with Enbridge and the Canadian Infrastructure Bank. It's a $100 million project, which we just launched. We do have annually a $1.3 billion economic impact here in Niagara, which is quite phenomenal. It actually translates to being 10% of the GDP of Niagara. So having a university in your backyard has lots of benefits, including 20,000 students and 22,000 employees spending money and doing great things. If anybody has back problems, I can highly recommend the Brock Sports Medicine Clinic. We just opened to the public this year. It had previously been dedicated to our athletes, but now it's available in the Summer Games Park, and that was a great launch for sports and rehabilitation of all sorts. We also opened a campus in Burlington, so we've expanded up out of Niagara and into Burlington, one of our neighboring communities, and there we have our education program, the Applied Disability Studies, and some of our professional and continuing studies. We're a top employer here in Niagara for all sorts of initiatives, and this year we are again, for the 8th year in a row, the top employer in the Niagara region. We have over 125,000 alumni around the world. And it's really amazing to bump into them, to hear stories from them, and to know the impact that Brock has had on them as they go out, literally in over 100 countries. So we find our alumni everywhere, and I find them everywhere I go in Niagara and beyond. So what makes Brock special? One of the things that makes Brock special is that it leads the country in experiential learning. And so 100% of the programs that are offered at Brock University have a hands-on component. So for me, that's really important. I'm a get your feet wet and get your hands dirty type person. And so if that's what our students are doing, I know that they're learning how to do it on the fly. And so it's really having communities like yours that welcome our students as co-ops and other kinds of experiential learning opportunities. It changes their lives. And so there's two up on the screen here that are just two examples of many of the students who have been impacted, not by just their experience at Brock, but their experience working here in Wainfleet as Brock students. So from the bottom of my heart, truly, I thank you for that support. It means so much to our students. So when I started at Brock, we were just finishing our strategic plan, and everybody knows the importance of having that North Star. So we had to go out and sort of reimagine what it was to be Brock University and to how we would tell our story. If you're going to do that, it's important to get out into the community, because Brock is not in the community, it's of the community. We had 2,000 plus consultations. We talked to everybody that we possibly could, and we asked a simple question. We asked, why is Brock important? What is Brock's purpose? What is it that we do? What should we be doing? And while the answer was really, really heartwarming and lots of different ways of giving us the answer was very clear. Brock's purpose is to transform people and reimagine the future. And we do it through curiosity, creativity, and courage. And courage, I think, is what differentiates us. It takes courage to go to university as a first-generation student. It takes courage to study something that maybe your parents don't want you to study. It takes courage to do a co-op program. It takes courage to do all sorts of things, to get out of your comfort zone, to join a club, to get a job, to do that co-op. It's amazing what courage can do. And so we really do know that our students, driven by that courage, do what's right, and they do it frequently. So our guiding principles, not surprising, to champion one another, to break down barriers, to lead by example, and learn through curiosity. Leading by example is exactly what you do. as counselors and as mayor and as regional leaders. Being the leader and setting the example for our youth is so important, and leading by action and doing is what differentiates Brock students from others. Our directions are obvious. A university has to be talking about knowledge and research, and obviously that's what we do and that's how we shape the future. But we're also building sustainable futures, and that is plural for a reason. It's financial sustainability, it's environmental sustainability, it's livelihood sustainability, it's thinking about our region in a sustainable way. Realizing you matter is that people come first. And, you know, when we were asking about this and we were asking people what makes Brock special, people kept saying it was the Brockiness. And we said, what is that? What does Brockiness mean? And it means that when you go to Brock and you're a student or you're working with Brock, something feels a little bit different and wonderful about it. And so we realized it's because when you come to Brock, you matter. And we don't take that lightly. So we take our people very, very seriously, and the community that we have evolved to be is focused on the notion that you matter. Bringing the world to Brock and Brock to the world, we think about students and our exchange students, thinking about bringing in faculty, thinking about attracting talent to the region, thinking about attracting industry to this region. So we work hand in hand with companies here in Niagara and beyond to ensure that there's economic vitality and vibrance here in Niagara. So I'm going to leave it at that. I think one of the things that I had mentioned to Chair Gale before, thinking about the notion of, I'm looking at our campus and attracting talent to Niagara. We've asked, or so I asked when I came, what percentage of students here at Brock are from Niagara? And I was surprised to find out that only 28% of students at Brock are from the region. I thought it would be much higher. But when we poll those students and we ask them, where do you want to live? 43% of our students say that they want to live here in Niagara. So the attraction factor and the wow factor of this region is something that brings students to us, but when they come to us, you keep them here. And so we can't underestimate the power of the ability of the Niagara region and Brock University to bring talent to this region. So with that, I don't know if there's time, but I'm happy to answer any questions, or we can take them via email. So I leave it to you.
All right, so thank you for your presentation. Are there any comments or questions from members of council? Councilor Anderson.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you for that sort of refreshing. I know about Brock, but I just sort of opened my eyes a bit this evening. One question I have is, what percentage of your student population are foreign students?
Fantastic question. We were just talking about this. We have and have always had between about 9 and 11% of our students are international. So we have done internationalization very in a dedicated way to globalization, not just sort of bringing in a lot of students. So some universities have goals of having 25 to 30% international. Some colleges are even higher. But Brock has always paid attention to ensuring that we're bringing in students who want to be here, who want to get an education, who want to contribute to the region. So we're on the lower side of percentages at universities across Canada, but that's by design. We have seen a decrease, I would say, in the last few years.
Thank you for that. One more question through you, Mayor. I'm just wondering what your sort of Niagara population expansion numbers are. Like, are you looking 10, 20 years down the road to campus expansion?
Great question. I think the campus itself has room to grow, but we would only grow in a very dedicated and specific way, but we don't have plans for massive growth. We would like to increase our students. Right now we're about 19,000 students, and we sort of see our sweet spot around 22 to 23,000 students, but we're not looking to be the next Toronto Metropolitan University and have 60,000 students. But we do also have the Burlington campus, which is attracting students in that region, but specifically for teachers' education, mostly.
Through you, Mayor. Thank you much for that presentation. Very
Thanks.
interesting. Thank you.
Any other comments, members of council? No? Thank you, Mrs. Riggs.
Thank you.
All right, so at this time, I will ask for a motion to receive for information. Can I have a seconder? Councillor Van Fleet, any discussion? Seeing none, I'll call the question. All in favor? Opposed? That is carried. Okay, so our second speaker this evening is Mr. Bob Gale, the regional chair, who was requested to speak before council. Chair Gale, very pleased to have you here.
Thank you,
Please make your
Mayor. I
presentation.
appreciate it, and councilors and staff and everyone else. I'm on my traveling roadshow right now. The last time I was here was probably, I think 11 years ago, it might have been 10 when I was talking about, you're looking at me strange, Mr. Mayor. What?
It was not the last time you were here.
I mean, I counsel.
Oh, okay, okay.
I've been out here many times. I went to Marshall.
Yeah, you came to visit me.
Thank you.
so.
I came to visit you, yes, I did. But I was here for emerging dispatch thing when I was chairman of the Niagara Regional Police at the time. But I'm welcoming any questions from you. I'm the new chair. I was appointed on December 18th, and at the same time, I resigned as chairman of the Niagara Parks. I was appointed for a 10-month period. Everything moved kind of fast, and now we're in budgets. You probably read the papers of I'm challenging some things on the budget or being expected to do that. I compliment you on your concerns with Wainfleet. I know there's concerns about transit, there's concerns about policing, and I've heard you in the back rooms with your comments about it. Always negative, but I understand it. I understand how this works, and you told me that everybody in your council loves the region. I appreciate that. But I know. I'm here to tell you that I'm always there to listen. You can email me anytime. You know my reputation. You know I look at things, but I'm not always correct, but I always try. So if you ever have a concern, email me, call me, go through the mayor, whatever you would like. I understand your concerns on transit and the other things. I would have the same. But show me the path. Show me, I say to everybody, don't just complain to me. Show me an alternative. Show me how to solve it on this type of stuff. Not that I can, but I will try on anything. So with that being said, Mr. Mayor, if you have any questions for me, I'm going around everywhere to introduce myself.
Personally, I'm just pleased to have you as a regional chair. As far as for my own council's awareness, right from the beginning journey of sitting on regional council, Bob was one of the first councilors to actually reach out and continue to, make me feel welcome at regional council. And, out of the 30 some odd of us, he's maybe one of two that has continued to do that over the last 3 years. So I think this is going to be a real advantage to have a chair that actually cares about some of the things that we care about. So I'm just happy to have you here. And if any of my councilors have anything they want to add, Councilor McCullen, go of course.
Through you, Mr. Mayor. I don't know to give you congratulations or condolences on the job you have,
You got it.
because I don't know if I'd want that job. But,
Yeah.
it depends on the day, I guess, and what the subject is. But no, thank you for coming out here.
Thank you.
I hope you do a great job, and at some point, I probably will call you. This is not the time to talk about it.
I have no problems with it. Yeah, I've hit the ground running. There's a lot of things going. When they made the motion at the last council for me to look at the budget and see if I can save things, I can. I don't know if it'll be to the achievement of what the rest of the council wants, because you can't expect everything on that. It's baby steps. But I know the concerns by what your mayor has said to me and the mayors in the past. Mayor Jeff's here and on it. And I agree with it. I just don't know how to solve it. It's a big region. So, always feel free to pick up the phone and call me or whatever you wish.
So I think the only way to do that is you got to look at your needs first and your wants second. And that's, everybody wants more than they have, but what do you really need to get things done? That's what you
Agreed.
do in your own house. You don't spend money on wants. You make sure your needs are covered first.
You bet. I think I was saying to somebody today, I go by the rule ROI and social conscience. ROI, return on investment. If we're going to put money in, show me how we're going to get more money back. But also care about the people that need help.
Yeah.
So you can't just be hard like running a business like I did and just say, if we don't make money on it, we're out. But so it's a fine line on that. But you know what I'm like. You've heard enough about me. So all I'll do is try.
Well, like I said, I don't know if it's congratulations or
Yeah.
condolences, but good luck.
Thank you.
Counselor Anderson?
Through you, Mayor, thank you. Well, mine is just congratulations, Bob. I believe all of our council looks forward to your term, and I know you're going to try to do as well as you can get done in the short little term till the next election comes up. So congrats, and it's not going to be easy.
Thank you. And if you ever want any of our staff out here to explain something, just call. We'll make it happen.
Counselor Van Fleet, you've struck a chord.
I also wanted to
sir.
say thank you and welcome, and also that I'm not the only Councillor Van Vliet in the region, so don't get us mixed up.
Okay?
My uncle's in Welland. But as far as transit goes, I sit on the Seniors Advisory Committee here in Wainfleet, and we have asked for somebody to come out from transit for 3 years.
To speak to you and no one's
To speak
come.
to us, to answer questions, and nobody has come. So I'm going to hold your feet to the fire on
Big
that
time.
one. Yeah,
One of you email me, please.
okay.
You know, you reserve the right to have, in the course of 3 years, I think somebody can make it out.
No, nobody's been here. They're
No, I'm not challenging you, I'm just saying
Oh.
that we should be there.
Yeah, I'm not the one you want to challenge either, but, yeah,
We're good.
just to say, yeah, transit is a huge bone of contention in this town, because we pay for nothing, so, just letting you know. And
Well, your mayor said to me how much, I joked when I said here, how much you love the Niagara region.
Oh,
I know
yeah.
the challenges on a small community. I'll get it everywhere I go.
Oh,
But
I'm
I
sure.
do come here
Okay.
for it. So, I mean, you have a challenge like that, damn it, I'll get you somebody out here from transit to talk to you.
Okay.
Might not be next month, but please email me, remind me, please.
I will.
I forget what happens tomorrow.
That's okay, I understand. Thank you.
Anyone else? Any other comments? Madam CAO? No? All right. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much. Appreciate
Very
it.
much appreciated.
Thanks.
All right. Once again, I'll need a motion to receive for information. So can I have a seconder? This time we'll go to Counselor Anderson. Any discussion? Seeing none? All in favor? Opposed? All right. That is carried. Thank you, everyone. I'm just waiting for the door to close. All right, so moving on, we're going to go to the consent agenda. We have 4 items on the consent agenda this evening. Those items are DSR 1 2026, respecting the Shafley Road Drain and Culver Drain Engineering, PWSR 1 2026, respecting the single axle dump truck plow sander combo purchase, and PWSR 2 2026, respecting the cemetery truck replacement, and lastly, PWSR 3 2026, respecting the operations truck replacement. Are there any items that council wishes to remove from the consent agenda for discussion? Seeing none, okay, so then with that, I have a motion that the following items be received and that the recommendations contained therein be approved and acted upon. DSR 1 2026, respecting the Shafley Road Drain and Culver Drain Engineering. PWSR 1 2026, respecting the single axle dump truck plow sander combo purchase. PWSR 2 2026, respecting the cemetery truck replacement. And PWSR 3 2026, respecting the operations truck replacement. Can I have a mover and seconder? Councilor McClellan, Councilor Anderson. Any discussion? Seeing none, I'll call the question. Okay. All in favor? Opposed? And that is carried. Okay, you're going to move to staff reports and recommendations. So we have, I'll let you step out before I continue. Okay, so we have a Community and Development Services staff reports, the memorandum respecting the partial closure and conveyance of Bessie Road road allowance. Ms. Earl, can you please provide a brief overview of your report?
Yes, thank you, and through you, Mr. Mayor, to members of council. The memo before you relates to an application to close and convey a portion of the township-owned Bessie Road allowance located south of Lakeshore Road. These lands have been subject to a long-standing agreement with the township for use as a private driveway. That agreement expires this month. Rather than extend a temporary arrangement, the applicant has requested a permanent solution through the closure and conveyance of the road allowance. As required by township policy, the application was circulated to adjacent landowners, agencies, and utilities. Through this process, a minor encroachment was identified involving a retaining wall from the neighboring property. This matter has been resolved, with Part 2 being conveyed to the affected landowners for a nominal consideration to legalize the encroachment. Hydro One has requested an easement over Part 1 to protect existing infrastructure, which will be provided at the time of registration. No other agency concerns remain outstanding. No development is proposed or will result from this road allowance conveyance. The intent is solely to formalize existing access arrangements and consolidate the lands with the abutting properties. As the access has been reviewed and the process for the closure and conveyance has followed the township's land disposal policy, staff are recommending that council approve the closure and conveyance of the subject lands, authorize the sale as outlined in the memo, and enact the draft bylaw as provided. Thank you. I'm available for comments or questions.
Thank you, Ms. Earls. So I have a motion that the memorandum respecting the partial closure and conveyance of Bessie Road allowance be received and that the recommendations contained therein be approved and acted upon. Can I have a mover and seconder? Councillor Van Fleet and Councillor Anderson, thank you. Any discussion? Councillor Van Fleet, of course.
Through you, Mr. Mayor, to Lindsay. Just for clarity for any public people that are watching, there's no actual way to get to the lake unless you're propelling down a cliff, correct?
Yes, through you, Mr. Mayor, that is correct. The lands do not function as public access, nor are they suitable for public access. It's actually in the township's best interest to close and sell that land, sell the land for protection of that feature.
Makes sense.
Yep.
Any other discussion? Councillor Anderson, go ahead.
Just a point of clarification, Lindsay. The flashing stoplight three-way remains as is, right? Statically, no change in that road safety? Thank you.
All right, any other discussion? Seeing none, I'll call the question. All in favor? Opposed? That is carried. Councillor McCullen, you can return. Okay, so we're going to move to planning staff reports. We have PSR 1/2026, respecting the zoning bylaw amendment file Z7-2025W, known municipally as 40562 Forks Road, Wainfleet. Ms. Ivins, can you please provide a brief overview of your report?
Through you, Mr. Mayor, this report provides a review of the applicable planning policies as it relates to the zoning bylaw amendment for the property on Forks Road. So the subject property received provisional approval from the Committee of Adjustment for surplus farm dwelling severance. And so the zoning bylaw amendment application proposes to rezone Part 1, being the surplus farm dwelling parcel, to a site-specific rural A4-87 zone, which would permit a minimum lot area of 0.85 hectares and a maximum accessory building lot coverage of 5.2%. And then to rezone Part 2, which is the agricultural lands, to a site-specific rural A4-188 zone to prohibit dwellings and to permit a minimum lot area of 35.77 hectares. So it's my opinion that the amendment meets the applicable provincial, regional, and township planning policies, and I have recommended that the amendment be approved. The implementing bylaw is on this evening's agenda as bylaw number 1. I'm available for any questions.
Thank you. So I have a motion that planning staff report PSR 1/2026 be received and that the zoning bylaw amendment file Z07-2025W for the lands known municipally as 40562 Forks Road be approved for the reasons outlined in this report, and that the application be deemed to be consistent with the Provincial Planning Statement 2024 and conform with the Niagara Official Plan and the Township of Wainfleet Official Plan, and that the zoning bylaw amendment attached as Appendix C be adopted. Can I have a mover and seconder? Councillor Anderson, Councillor Van Fleet. Any discussion? Councillor McClellan, go ahead.
One question. The barn to the east, that is being partially removed or fully removed?
Through you, Mr. Mayor, so we've requested through the consent application that that barn be removed.
Okay. Just what it looked like, and I just one clarification.
So that hasn't been included in the lot coverage calculation because it's, as a condition of approval of the consent, is to be removed.
Okay, thanks.
Any other discussion? Okay, seeing none, I will call the question. All in favor? Opposed? That is carried. Okay, moving into review of correspondence. We have one item of correspondence on the agenda for consideration this evening. Correspondence item C012, respecting the proposed Wainfleet Senior of the Year Award. Does any member of council wish to make a motion? Councillor Van Fleet.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I would like to make the motion that we receive this and support the Age Advisory Committee in whatever they need to go through with this.
Fantastic. Can we get a seconder? Councillor McCullen, of course. Any discussion on the matter? Seeing none, I'll call the question. All in favor? Opposed? That's carried. Okay. Moving into bylaws. So we have a motion that the following bylaws be read and passed this 20th day of January 2026. Bylaw number 1, 2026, being a bylaw pursuant to the provisions of Section 34 of the Planning Act, RSO 1990, to amend zoning bylaw number 34, 2014 of the Corporation of the Township of Wainfleet with respect to those lands forming Concession 5, Part Lots 4 and 5 in the Township of Wainfleet and known municipally as 40562 Forks Road. And then we have bylaw number 2, 2026, being a bylaw to authorize the stopping up and closing of a portion of a road allowance known municipally as Bessie Road and the conveyance of part of the said road allowance between lots 3 and 4, concession 1, described as parts 1 and 2 on reference plan 59R-18493 in the Township of Wainfleet, Regional Municipality of Niagara. Can I have a mover and seconder? Councillor Van Fleet, Councillor Anderson, thank you. Any discussion on the matters? Seeing none? Okay. Then I will call the question. All in favor? Opposed? That is carried. Okay, are there any notices of motion this evening? Seeing none? Okay, so we're going to move to the bylaw to confirm the proceedings of council. So I have a motion that bylaw number 3, 2026, being a bylaw to adopt, ratify, and confirm the proceedings of the council of the Corporation of the Township of Wainfleet at its regular meeting of council held January 20th, 2026. Can I have a mover and seconder? Councillor Anderson, Councillor McClellan, any discussion? Seeing none, I'll call the question. All in favor? Opposed? That is carried. So there being no further business, this meeting is now adjourned. Thank you.